Were you surprised to see how well you were able to master, to put into writing your transformative experience? I mean, I really want to acknowledge your facility with using words to convey the deep, the reality that you were really attempting to express for us. Did that come as a surprise to you?
Well, it didn't in that I think it's like when you feel, it's what I said earlier about when you embody what it is you're talking about. I think the world responds in the way that you feel when you do it. It's like acting or any art form. I think when we become so completely the character, the beingness of what it is we're talking about, I think it translates. And I just trusted that. Being an artist, it's not such a stretch to express myself in this other way. It's very similar. You rough a thing in, and then you go deeper and you bring it out in the most essential way. So, I mean, it wasn't surprising. And I don't say that, with any lack of modesty. I say it because I trust what I feel. I trust it when I'm doing artwork. I trust it when I'm working with somebody one-on-one. I trust it when I see in another person's work. I trust what I feel, and the reality of those stories I felt and relived in the writing, and I knew it would translate.
Why did you like to fast?
Well, originally I fasted once a week because I started fasting when I was about 19 or 20. Because I read in a book by Yogananda that it purifies and it's just a good thing to do, fast once a week. So I started fasting every Thursday. I did it for about 10 years, and then I would go on longer fasts. And what I found is it increased perception. So when I was in art school, I would fast the day that I went to school to paint because it would help me get into my work. And then later in life, I fasted because I gave all my money away and I didn't have food.
Well, yes. I mean, that's what I was wondering, because you use the word fast even when you were starving. I mean, it wasn't that you were consciously fasting. You simply didn't have money to go out and buy food, and you were at points of being very uncomfortable and actually in pain because you didn't have any food to eat.
Again, there was either a God of everything or a God of nothing, and I needed to trust that. And what I found is that, the point where I really felt like I couldn't do it anymore is where it all ended, too, I mean, nobody does anything for very long if they don't find meaning in it. It's not an arbitrary thing. You do a thing because you see the miracle. And you also see that if I could have just trusted a little longer, I could have really been at one with that miracle instead of, kicking and screaming in the way I might have. And so fasting the way I did was so much a part of courting that miracle in all ways. And so what I feel like I had to come to terms and find meaning and purpose in absolutely nothing in order to find it in everything. And it's a kind of paradox, It's like you befriend death, life is yours. You avoid death and you end up living your death, And similarly, I had to trust it every way if I was going to be the kind of freedom I sensed I could be living. And that's where inspiration is. And it still is that way, although, I'm living on beautiful Whidbey Island with my beautiful wife doing exactly what I love to do. But it's still, the deeper meaning always comes by once again inhabiting that emptiness and trusting it again. And it comes over and over in the cyclical nature, but you get better and better at it. It becomes your good habit, where most of our habit is to fear things, to play it safe, to look for advantages, to look for that increase in salary or the bigger bank account because now I'm a little safer and I've got my nest egg. Or the way we think is so strategic, but we don't think that there's life in emptiness and life in death. If you can find it there, you can have it anywhere. The world comes with the territory. It doesn't work the other way around. You can't find fearlessness by making yourself safe in the world. You'll never be safe enough.